December 6th is the first time we met, but then New Year's was when he realized that he was gonna love me forever.
This clip right here shows the inception of a story about how xQc met his girlfriend Adept for the first time. However, little did Felix know, it was going to be the beginning of eventual drama, lawsuits and involvement with the police.
Conducting a full interview with the police, having to go to court, okay, and quietly fight for my life. Actually.
In today's video we're diving deep into the events that led up to this moment and find out why this relationship ultimately ended up ruining his life, starting at the beginning of their first breakup. Now before all of this happened, xQc and Adept appeared to be quite a happy couple, despite them and their audience hiding it behind the label just roommates. And even though this became a huge inside joke on the channel with the couple becoming wildly popular in internet culture, they started arguing more and more throughout 2021, with the relationship slowly beginning to show its first signs of trouble.
I know you're gonna try so hard to justify behind your character, and I know your chat's gonna make you feel you're incredibly justified and you're gonna double down on it.
Okay.
But they don't know the that you did the other day in the room, out of character, no streams, no game involved. They don't know.
However, arguments like these are very normal in a relationship, especially when you live together, and it didn't necessarily mean that they would immediately break up over it. Yet, to everyone's surprise, it did actually end up becoming a breaking point for both in August, as they announced their split on Twitter. And while a lot of people had their opinions ready, they handled it professionally and kept it private, not giving in to any rumors and dealing with it behind closed doors. This proved to be a good solution, as they got back together in September, and at the end of the year they even confirmed it officially by releasing their story on how they met and fell in love together. A whole year passed without any drama or fallouts happening between the two, and it seemed like the lovebirds finally managed to patch things up once and for all. But this conclusion was far from the truth, as their entire lives suddenly came crashing down on the 17th of September in 2022.
I was cornered into choosing between family and Sammy, and unfortunately what happened is that I kind of just chose family.
In this clip, xQc announced that they had once again broken up while explaining the situation, and Adept was far from happy with this announcement. You see, Sammy wanted the fans to discover this breakup themselves over time, as she didn't want to talk about the traumatic situation that happened beforehand, while Felix didn't want the secret to ruin his mood and stream for months. So it ultimately ended in xQc leaking this decision and Adept booting up a livestream herself where she told a pretty watered down story of what happened. As a response, Felix reacted to the stream and gave away even more details of the situation, as there was apparently a major fight between Sammy and the family of Felix. Before a family dinner, a crossfire happened between Felix, Sammy, Felix's brother and his girlfriend, after which his brother and his girlfriend decided to move out.
There was a big crossfire, okay, of both sides. It'd be me, my girlfriend, him, his girlfriend. There's a big crossfire that ended up him moving out and being on his own, his girlfriend. And he was very hurt by it, okay? He was very hurt, and it was very, very sad.
This resulted in the dinner plans changing last minute to only Felix, his dad and his brother going alone. And this put xQc in a difficult situation, as he wanted to be there for his brother at dinner, yet also wanted to later support Sammy when he got home. But the family was so rude to Adept that it escalated in an all-out war, and xQc wanted none of it. Sammy asked Felix to defend her, but he failed to do so, as he tried to escape the situation as fast as possible, trying to cool down, and it resulted in it being the final nail in the coffin for their relationship. xQc ended up taking a lot of the blame for this whole tragedy.
You call it whatever you want. I pushed it out. I failed. I didn't do right. That is correct. That is correct. Okay. In the basis of a relationship, doing the right thing to save the relationship, I did not do that one thing.
Also stating that he felt cornered and had to choose between Adept and his family, and he ultimately decided to go for his family. The two ended up going their own ways, and it meant that Felix was now single. But this new relationship status didn't last long, as after going on a few dating streams, he met his new girlfriend Nixie, with whom he was not afraid to share their intimate connection online. The new relationship obviously caused a lot of tension with Adept, and after various allegations and controversies, the couple eventually broke up, with cheating allegations being at the heart of these accusations.
She just thought that I probably cheated. and I have nothing to fucking hide, okay?
xQc obviously denied it and gave as the actual reason for their breakup that Nixie did something that was personally unacceptable for him, but eventually didn't go into further detail. Nixie caught herself in the middle of their drama as Adept even went to xQc's house and got permission to scroll through his phone to confirm herself that Felix didn't cheat on her with Nixie during their relationship. However, his new girlfriend wasn't the only victim of this situation, because there was a massive hostage case going on during all of this. It didn't involve anyone being locked up in a basement, but it did involve a garage, as Adept apparently had legal ownership of xQc's McLaren 720S Spider, which he paid $300,000 for. The purchase happened almost a whole year earlier, as Felix proudly showed it off in a Forza Horizon stream. Yet, there was one problem. He didn't have a US driver's license, as he's from Canada, which meant that he couldn't register the car in his own name. After the breakup, Sammy confirmed that she actually had this ownership, and occasionally used this car to provoke a reaction, even insinuating with an Instagram story that she went on a date in his car as there were flowers on the passenger side, with all of this happening on xQc's birthday.
Whoa! I hate it when shit happens when I'm on stream. I hate it. I know what to do. I know what to do.
And at one point, he even had to freeze his credit cards.
I mean, dude, I froze my credit cards. I did. I don't know what to do.
While also having to ask Aiden Ross if he could park the car in his garage. The whole situation became a complete mess, not only emotionally but also legally. Yet, it was nothing compared to what would come next, as 2023 was the year where xQc's life would get completely destroyed. On January 7th, xQc's Twitch stream was bizarrely cut short after Adept arrived at his house and claimed that he was violating a court order.
I will not ask you next to the next podcast and go home. So we buy court order. I have full authority to the park. I have full authority to the park based off the court order that we agreed upon. You signed your name on it. Get out now? No, I need you to change the account back now.
Apparently, Felix locked Sammy out of the account for a card that she had full authority to by changing the password. But this didn't catch the attention of fans at all. No, they heard Adept say court order, which meant that they might have been married all this time. After some digging, they found a legal document confirming these rumors, but xQc denied all of it.
I will tell you with 100% confidence, okay? I am not married. I was never married. I would probably never get married for the rest of my life, okay? It's just not me. I don't see any value in it, okay?
So why is it that the whole situation was so vague? Why did Sammy file for divorce while Felix denies they were even married in the first place? Well, it was due to a thing called common law marriage. Now, common law marriage is the idea that two people are married in all but name, despite never having formally registered the fact. And while the US has abolished this way of marriage in most states, there are still some states where this can be contracted, including Texas. Adept's petition for divorce was filed under this form of marriage, and attorney Tom gave a great explanation as to which evidence she would have to provide.
So she will have to show that 1, they agreed to be married, 2, that they lived together after they agreed to be married, and 3, they held themselves out to others that they were husband and wife.
This meant that Adept only had to prove that they told verified witnesses that they were married, and a YouTuber named Henry Resilient found her exhibits of proof in the court documents. She provided Discord messages, a YouTube video mentioning this common law marriage, provided a copy of the lease proving they lived together in Texas, and also got her family and even the housekeepers involved to testify. As a result, she demanded lawyer fees, spousal support, exclusive use of the BMW and the Tesla, a $500,000 bond in case Felix messed up, and wanted to prevent him from using his money to gamble or buy expensive clothing and jewelry. All while simultaneously filing a restraining order against him and them both not being allowed to discuss the litigation. The court ended up denying most of these demands, but gave her temporary exclusive access to the BMW and the Tesla, got Felix to sign the agreement of him not gambling, and approved both his and Sammy's request of not speaking about the matter on stream. Yet, this didn't mean that both of them would be silent on the matter. No. In fact, Adept's mission became more apparent than ever, as she wanted to make sure that xQc and his empire eventually got completely demolished. You see, many were speculating that Samantha had no solid case to win this lawsuit, as Felix's lawyer had a great defense.
He said, just to be clear, I want to make sure I understand. xQc never told you that he and Sammy were married, correct? And her answer is no, not directly. This is her mom getting questioned by his lawyer.
But she didn't give up on her story, showing a wedding ring, luring him back and kicking him out of his own house, and finding the perfect opportunity to destroy his image when he found himself in some hot water.
You literally do it to enrich yourself. You're a multimillionaire and you steal content from small creators and you don't give a about their rights or what they want. And then your only justification is, oh yeah, you can come chase me down and complain and try to get my attention so I can pay you for that I stole.
Yes, when xQc got called out for doing lazy React content and profiting of YouTubers, he decided to debate Ethan Klein on the H3H3 podcast. This obviously didn't end in a professional conclusion, with both of them bickering a lot. But Felix came off as a bit of an egotistical chat when he flexed his watch and his house in Ethan's DMs, which the host of the podcast leaked afterwards. Adept immediately went live to make fun of him.
I can't even fucking hear you.
And while she only turned more fans against her after this stream, with them labeling it as a manic episode, the worst was yet to come. Sammy continued using the McLaren as manipulative and controlling tactics, and also filed another lawsuit accusing him of SA. In this case, she used the situation of another one of xQc's ex-girlfriend's friend to her own advantage, using this story of him grabbing the butt of friend during them sleeping as a starting point for her own case. But not only did friend debunk her claims,
and you know what she's doing? She used that, what I said, and is trying to paint Felix as like an essay, like that he essayed me. She quite literally took that and tried to twist it and fit into a fake narrative. Are you kidding me?
The judges also disagreed, as they closed the criminal investigation due to a lack of evidence. Yet, Adept was still not backing down.
And the person that keeps causing confusion and chaos in all of this wants to cause confusion and chaos so that you're outraged at me.
And also indirectly insinuated that xQc broke into her home, filed a protective order for family violence against him after spending the night with him in Texas, and recently exposed him for paying his head moderator for sleeping with him, ending in Adept leaking messages and doxing the mod in question on stream, which he ultimately might have got banned for. The entire situation is completely messed up, and has ruined the life of both parties either way. The costs of the lawsuit set up, both fan bases are fighting against each other, their friend group has their opinions split, and innocent people involved are getting dragged into the drama while having their privacy breached. xQc claimed that it has traumatized him, and that he might never even recover from this whole ordeal. But what was even the main reason for this complete assassination of his character and brand? Well, it apparently came from Felix not including her in his will.
I was like, yeah, I don't feel really good and whatever. And then if I die, if I check out, like I want people to get stuff, and that person was not on the will. Moment where I'm like really vulnerable at my kind of lowest, like it's kind of like oh wow, like I'm so scared. I'm writing a will down, hearing him just say like, okay, then that happens, and then what do I get?
However, things are looking better for him day by day, as he got a protective order lifted and had lengthy interviews with the police that resulted in them and the court basically siding with Felix. Yet, he's still in the process of pursuing justice, fighting to officially get his house back, in which Adept is living rent-free, get his cars back, and vow to never settle, meaning that no settlement money will ever be paid to the other party, present or future. It seems like xQc is slowly but surely putting an end to this madness and winning the case, but it is far from over yet. And even then, if he wins the case, the emotional damage, stress and trauma that this has caused him will probably follow him for the rest of his life, even into other relationships, and I'm not sure if he will ever trust to marry a woman ever again. For now, he doesn't have to worry about that though, and continues dating around, also streaming daily, bettering his health by going to the gym, and continuing his successful career. So, what do you think about the whole situation? Did they actually have a common law marriage? Or was this just a false narrative for financial gain? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed the video, leave a like if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's much appreciated.